Guys, welcome to the video, and hope you're all keeping well and settled into the new year. Just a quick one on car storage and battery storage for your own car. If you use a car and you've got the privilege of a wonderful large garage, dehumidified, or perhaps with an air bubble balloon in it, which you've bought, and you plug it in and you can keep your car in fantastic conditions, that is all obviously all very well. But I know a majority of us haven't got that privilege, and likewise we've got our own storage with garages inside a house, beside a house, or alternatively you've rented storage elsewhere to keep your beloved classic and so on. The problem with the modern garages is that the fact they don't have windows in anymore, and nor do they have air bricks. That's probably because houses are built so much closer together, and the problem with that arises is the fact that air doesn't circulate so well in them. So what can we do to sort of offset that without having the privilege of a really large garage, or indeed having an air bubble cocoon storage sort of thing? These things are all very nice to have, as I say, they're for normal people. I say normal people, a lot of people don't have that. They've got a straightforward garage, haven't they? Okay, well, the thing that causes problems with car storage, particularly in winter time and or in summertime as well, is the fact, because the air doesn't circulate in them because of those things, no windows, no air bricks inside, we have to sort of create an atmosphere where we can, if anything, help the air circulate a bit more, particularly when the car is hot. Allow me to explain. Going back to your own physics lessons in school, you know for yourself that hot air rises. If you've got a radiator in a house, air rises above the window, catches with cold air on the outside of the window pane, causes condensation. The last thing you want with your motor car, and your beloved motor car. So what I tend to do, as I've been doing with previous cars and with my present Saab, which I've had for 8 years, this is what you see I do here. Got parked up, the car's still quite warm, just come from Worcester from college, and I've also left the garage open, ajar, like you see there. What that basically does is allow hot air to escape. When it rises, you've got air coming in, keeping the garage ajar, circulating, or it's allowed to escape, and obviously it causes no condensation. Good idea, yeah? Now appreciate if you've got garaging elsewhere, or you're keeping your car stored elsewhere at your folks, or a rented garage or something away from your home, that's not going to be the most practical, because you're not going to leave the garage open for security reasons and so on. But you can leave it open for 10 minutes or so before you leave the car, before you lock it up and secure it. And indeed, if you can leave the bonnet open, let the hot air escape, that'll do wonders, absolute wonders. Condensation, worst enemy in cars, terrible. Buggers up electrics, cause damping the electrics, and the other thing, it causes condensation under your bonnet. If you trap the air, warm air, under the bonnet, that's exactly what you're going to get. So it's a good idea, if you can, to let the hot air escape, and that way it will rise out of the car, the air will basically neutralise it in the way, and then it won't cause condensation under your bonnet, any welding seams and stuff like that, and also your electrics as well. So it's a good thing. The other thing is battery. We ought to, I know you're gonna throw the book at me at this one. Listen me out, and I'll explain to you my theories. I was actually told this by a qualified mechanic, and it made so much sense. We are told when we store a car, perhaps to take the car off the battery, but do you take one lead off, or 2 leads, and which one do you take off first. But I recommend taking 2 leads off. Okay. Also, the reason I'd also recommend detaching the battery with the positive first. Now that's going to be against the grain, and once a lot of people, they're going to say, oh no, my mechanic said you've got to take the negative off, and if you get a Rolls Royce or something like that, it's got a lock-off thing, it's always on the negative, and if you buy an aftermarket one, it attaches to the negative to switch that off first. It leaves the positive on. It's not a problem in that. Right, listen me out first. The reason I take both leads off, if I'm storing the car for more than a few weeks, I'm using another vehicle and I want to disconnect the battery, I will take both leads off, but I will disconnect the positive first and leave the earth on for a second. I say why, but when you've got modern electrics, the ECUs and that sort of thing inside a car, what tends to happen is if they haven't got an earth, they will backfire on itself, and that can cause damage to your ECUs. Only momentarily, admittedly, but once it's still got some power in there remaining down, it doesn't power down, it powers down, it hasn't got an earth to go to, it will backfire on itself and can potentially damage the ECUs or electronic modules, whichever. More modern cars have more of the same and more of them, sort of thing. So I'd always recommend, if you're leaving your car, disconnect the battery, preserve your battery life, for one, and secondly speaking, disconnect the positive, the regular lead first. That way, if it's searching for a earth, it's got an earth to go to straight away because you've got it connected to the battery. And we'll let it power down for a few seconds or so, maybe a minute or so, 10 minutes or so. Then disconnect the earth lead. Then when you come to power it back up, start the car again, connect your battery again. Put the earth on first. So for when that's already tightened there, the earth is already there. So when you come to connect the positive, it's again got an earth to go to straight away. That protects electrics in your car. Now I know what you're going to say, Mark, you're wrong. My mechanics told me this and this, that and the other. Everybody connects the button. Yeah, I understand all that. Freedom of speech, you're free to do as you please and all that. But have a think about that. Have a think about that. Think what I say there. If momentarily people like in the Saabs allow the power down before they disconnect the one lead, sort of thing. But I always recommend take the positive off first if you're disconnecting the battery, and again when you come to connect it, when you reuse the car again, put the earth on first. That way you make sure that when the positive is connected, it's got an earth to go to straight away. Protects electrics in your car. See? Okay, just a thought. No doubt I'm going to get comments to say, you're wrong, Mark, you're wrong. I'm okay with that. I'm still going to do it the way I do it. And it was a mechanic who told me himself, who served me very, very well before he retired. He said that with these modern cars, people don't realise that you do actually in fact get a backfire on the electrics. They can cause that. Like mechanics told you. They don't always tell you this. Bear in mind they've got a vested interest. If your ECU blows up, well, it's going to cost you this, sir. Yeah. I'm afraid you get these problems with these modern cars, sir. I'm terribly sorry, but it's going to cost you. Yeah, all right. Yeah, just be mindful. Huh? Okay. Like and subscribe if you can. I want to help the channel out. Get it off. Keep it getting off the ground. Done a fair few videos now. Yeah, I'll keep making them. And hello to everybody for the new year and everything else, and look after yourselves. Take care now. Thanks very much.